It is NBA Now, right here on Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Sr. Give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Sr. I love talking ball with all of the people. Slide in my DMs and hit me with a question or a hot take. Let's get to the latest NBA news and rumors. And Friday started off with a bang with these recent reports coming out that Damian Lillard is expected to request a trade in, quote, the days to come. That coming from True Hoop. He was scheduled to meet with the media after his Team USA practice as we record this during our live show on Friday. We'll see what happens with that. Another report came out, according to a source that's close to Damian Lillard, that Dame has already requested a trade. And we're talking about one of the best players in the NBA right now, a generational type player, and a guy who's one of the best scorers that we've seen in the history of the league. He's got every type of move and shot in his pocket, and he can make it rain from 40-plus feet. So that only means that the pursuit for Dame is totally on. According to Barry Bonds, he came out with this report after that one from True Hoop. No, not the former San Francisco Giant who might have juice, might not have. This guy is verified, and he does cover the NBA. He had this to say. Damian Lillard has officially requested a trade from the Portland Trail Blazers. The Knicks, Lakers, Heat, and Warriors are all teams that Lillard is expected to be interested in. Our trade destination list is a combination of who we believe is going to be in play for Dame, but also what the reports indicate, because these reports are all over the place right now. Our Damian Lillard trade destinations, we have 6 of them for you right now, updated as we record this on Friday. The New York Knicks, Philadelphia 76ers, Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers, Boston Celtics, and Miami Heat. All 6 teams have some semblance of either player assets that they could give up or draft assets that they could give up in order to absorb either Damian Lillard's salary or give up players to help the Blazers rebuild if Dame does request a trade out of Portland. Whatever does shake out, you already know we have you covered here on Chat Sports, so you see that link at the bottom of your screen. Make sure you subscribe. Will Dame get traded? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get those votes in and predictions in the comment section right now. Last week I would have said no. Right now I'll say yes. I've been on the seesaw going back and forth. What do you think though? Because this news did come out early on Friday, we did release a video at length talking about those trade destinations for Dame. If you missed that, it's on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel right now, youtube.com/chatsportstv. The video is already up. It's picking up like wildfire. Either hit that red subscribe button down below. And if Dame does get dealt at any point in the NBA offseason, we'll be live here on the channel as well because we bring you the latest and juiciest NBA free agency news and rumors. We'll be live for the NBA Draft, interactive YouTube channel. Come hang out with us. As for the latest on Kawhi Leonard, not much new on this front. As we know, earlier this week on Tuesday, Shams did report Kawhi underwent ACL surgery, has a player option of $36 million. If he opts out of that with the Clippers, he's free to be a free agent. The newest nugget from this report, though, and on the Kawhi Leonard front, is this coming from Marc Stein. Rival front offices presume that Kawhi Leonard would have no interest in switching teams a third time. He was with the Spurs. He was with the Raptors. Now he's with the Clippers. But there's also this. Even though he might be out for much of next year, maybe even all of next year, there are expected to be suitors. Marc Stein had this to say about Kawhi. The most likely scenario, league sources say, remains Leonard opting out to re-sign with the Clippers, or in Steve Ballmer's worst nightmare, to shock the league by signing elsewhere. Leonard's well-known affinity for Southern California has led various rival front offices to presume that he would have no interest in switching teams for the third time, as we mentioned. But the notion that Leonard is unattainable seems to be waning a bit as the August 2 start of free agency nears. Dallas, just to name one expected suitor, will not be dissuaded from pursuing Leonard even if he's forced to miss all of next season, league sources say. Can you imagine if Kawhi teamed up with Luka? Don't even care if it's for this upcoming season. At some point, if Kawhi is able to stay healthy and Luka continues on this trajectory, you're looking at one of the most lethal 1-2 punches in recent modern NBA history. Luka can do it all. Kawhi Leonard can do it all. And actually, I'd think that Luka would benefit from just having more of a burden taken off of his shoulders. I think Kawhi, on the other hand, would benefit from going to Dallas. He gets to be in the shadow of Luka and Mark Cuban. They can occupy all of the attention. There's no state income tax in the state of Texas. We're based in Dallas. I see some more bones on my paycheck. It's pretty nice. Kawhi Leonard, kind of legendarily frugal. So if he can save some money for his next contract, because that's millions of dollars over the next several years, could he decide to go to a team like Dallas? What do you all think, though, Hoopers? Where will Kawhi sign if he becomes a free agent? Type C for a reunion with the Los Angeles Clippers. Type O for other. A lot of teams expected to be suitors for Kawhi Leonard as well as Damian Lillard. If Kawhi opts out of his deal, we'll see what happens. And of course, anything that does happen on the Kawhi front, we'll be breaking it down here on Chat Sports. Speaking of breaking it down, we've been so busy during the NBA offseason on all of our team-specific NBA channels. And we have a lot of them. And the following for them, it continues to grow. Our Lakers channel. North of 36,000 subscribers, we're trying to get to 37K. Warriors, let's get to 20,000. Our Dallas Mavericks channel, we're back pushing out multiple videos a week. We just surpassed 14,000 subscribers. Celtics, it's been growing like crazy. Shout out to all the Celtics fans out there. Man, it's been killing it. And we did just launch 2 new channels here on Chat Sports to cater to 2 nationwide fan bases. And you see those links at the bottom of your screen, chatsports.com/KnicksTV, because we just launched a Knicks channel. Just in a couple of hours, more than 50 people have subscribed. We also started a Philadelphia 76ers channel. You can subscribe to that by going to chatsports.com/76erstv. We already have some videos on those channels. We'll continue to put more coverage there. Subscribe to those brand new channels here on Chat Sports. This offseason, I think the Golden State Warriors are one of the most fascinating teams in the NBA because there are so many questions about what they're going to do in the NBA draft as well as in NBA free agency. Could they make a blockbuster trade to bring in a Damian Lillard or a Kawhi Leonard? Let's explore all of that. So according to reports, this came out earlier this week, and we covered it on Warriors Today by Chat Sports. This coming from Anthony Slater of The Athletic. The Warriors have had, quote, internal discussions about trading for Dame. But now it's reported that Dame is expected to request a trade. The Warriors might be a team on his list. Warriors certainly have a lot of assets in terms of draft capital as well as players. 2 lottery picks, number 7 and 14. Also James Wiseman and Andrew Wiggins. Maybe a young player like Jordan Poole. And it kind of boils down to this. Does Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green think that with another star, they can get back to competing for NBA championships? I think that's the best path to go. What do the players think? Let's try to read the tea leaves here with the Dubs. Klay Thompson on Instagram Live on Thursday said this: "How do I feel about the draft? Great. 2 lotto picks. They don't come around too often. We call those assets in the business world, and business is booming. It'll be booming if they bring in another marquee player." Draymond Green also on Thursday had this to say about the same situation. "There's definitely some really good talent in this draft. There's also some good talent in this league. So we'll see what happens." Steph Curry a few weeks ago was pressed about the same question. He said this: "We do have a lot to work with potential picks, guys coming back, hopefully enticing some free agents to come out to the Bay and be a part of a winning organization and how we do things. I feel like everything's on the table at this point. There's a lot of time before the draft and before training camp and the free agency period." Once again, want to emphasize, Steph Curry said that back a couple weeks ago. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, the Warriors are leaning toward trading away those draft assets at number 7 and number 14 because plan A for that organization is to package those picks to try to lure a free agent or a player to the Bay to team up with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. And if that happens, the Warriors are back in the mix as one of the NBA contenders, especially in a packed Western Conference. Predict this for us. What do you think the Warriors are going to do with those picks in the lottery? Type T for trade, type K for keep. Get those votes in down below. Where is Kelly Oubre going to go in NBA free agency? And could he go back to San Francisco? He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. His first year with the Warriors after they traded for him in November, and that deal after Klay Thompson had popped his Achilles, resulted in Kelly Oubre showing some good, some bad. It was an up and down season for a variety of reasons, injuries as well as playing time. Toward the end of the year, Kelly Oubre was coming off the bench. And here's the issue. If the Warriors want to bring back Oubre, he might have to come off the bench if they stay firm right now with Klay Thompson in that starting lineup. Kelly Oubre figures to be a role player. And do you want to pay a role player $15 to $20 million, which is probably what Kelly Oubre will demand on the open market? I think Oubre is a good player. He's not a great player. He gives you effort. He's a solid defender. His numbers this past year, not as good as they were the season prior with the Suns, but also you have to factor in that Steph Curry was taking a majority of the shots. The numbers here are okay. Is it worth $15 to $20 million? I would side with no. Oubre was on a podcast and did a video with Shams Charania of The Athletic, and here's what he had to say kind of about his Golden State experience and what he learned in his tenure being with that organization. I can't sit here and focus on the things that go on with the suit and ties. I have to lock in on the court. I think the whole world knows what I'm capable of and allow me to show it. Here's what he had to say about his time with the Warriors, an organization that's one of the best in the league. I learned professionalism to the core. These guys have a resume that speaks for itself, so being able to be around these guys for a whole season and watch how they move, how they operate within the confines of the NBA, the professionalism that they ensure, I think that's something I can jot down in my own notebook and respect those guys forever for. What are the Warriors going to do with Kelly Oubre Jr.? I know the fan base is up and down because I've seen chirping in the comments of Warriors today. Should they re-sign him? If so, type R for re-sign. Do you think they should let him walk in free agency? Then type your W for walk.